Hey, call all your how about Shalom Shine Shalom to the elect. Now, in this video, I want to talk about them talking about healing this place, basically. Because when you go into the scriptures, they talk about Babylon's not healed. It says she is not healed. Now, I wasn't even going to add this part of the video, but it just came to my mind. And they got this Liberty Mutual shit on there. And you all know that Lady Liberty is supposed to be the symbolism of America. So that's just another indication of who this she is talking about in the scriptures. So I'm gonna let this video play and I'm gonna just bring this up.
This agreement is really an outstanding agreement. To them, to all Americans, I say, help is on the way, big help and quick help.
Now, let me bring this up just for edification's sake, because you know, you gotta be diligent and research everything. And that's the spirit of being, to be able to research stuff and to prophesy about what's to come and line up with the scriptures. Now, on the U.S. debt clock, let me pull it up. See, I put it in the wrong thing. Now, on the U.S. debt clock, that's the U.S. national debt, $23 trillion and rising. Or in mathematical terms, it's $23.6 trillion and rising. Now, these fucking devils got her to come out with a plan. I say 5 days and $2 trillion stimulus plan agreed. A stimulus plan against virus agreed in the U.S. How in the fuck they gonna pull $2 trillion out of thin air? But it's a damn $23 trillion debt. But people don't pay no attention to this stuff, man. This some silly shit, and it's serious though at the same time, because that just goes to show that the U.S. dollar is really not backed by nothing. That's why all these other countries, like Russia and China, Iran, they don't want to deal with the U.S. dollar. They want a gold-backed currency, because the U.S. dollar is not a gold-backed currency like it was before. So I'm gonna let this play some more.
Deal was struck then after 5 days of intensive debate and after Democrats twice blocked it going through, insisting on concessions. The legislation would provide direct payments and unemployment benefits as well as loan programs. It could be just in time too, because the World Health Organization's issued a warning that the US could become the new global epicenter for COVID-19. The numbers of infected are rising rapidly in the country, with over 55,000 confirmed cases so far. Standing firm in the face of potential tragedy, though, President Donald Trump also saying he wants his country to be opened up again by the Easter holidays.
Which is a pagan holiday. This Easter goes back into the word Ishtar, but I ain't gonna speak on that topic in this video. But in the book of Jeremiah, in chapter 51, in the start of verse 9, it said, "We will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. Let us go, everyone to his own country, for judgment reaches to heaven and is lifted up to the skies." And you also have a lot of people that's been fleeing from this place, whether they be from Iran, Syria, the islands, the West Indies, India, all these different places. And you also got Moab, the Chinese people. They moving over here because they so silly. They some birds, so they gonna come right where the drum at. But that's just for their judgment too. Now I'm gonna read through this. I'm gonna just go down and see where I want to start at. Now this haven't happened yet, because you have certain scholars that be like, "Oh, this took place already." No, ancient Babylon wasn't destroyed by no destroying wind, and that destroying wind is talking about nuclear destruction. Now, in the book of Jeremiah, I'm gonna start at verse 1. I just read what verse that was. I just read verse 9. I'm gonna just read on down, just to get some some good points on this. Now, in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 1, it says, "Thus says the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon." And how he going to raise up? He going to put the spirit on these other leaders, so-called kings or presidents or whatever that's ruling in these different nations to turn against this place. And it says, "And against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind." And that destroying wind is talking about nuclear destruction. Now, I'm going to just type this in and see what I get with this, because I never typed this in on here, but I'm quite sure it's going to be something that line up with the terminology. What is it? Oh, hold up. Hey, see, I wasn't even expecting this. Not like this accurate. This is too accurate. No, it said the effects of nuclear explosions. The effects of a nuclear explosion on its immediate vicinity are typically much more destructive and multifaceted than those caused by conventional explosives. In most cases, the energy released from a nuclear weapon detonated within the lower atmosphere can approximately divide into four basic categories, and they give out the little categories, whatever. Now I want to get to the main point. I just seen it in a little front clip. I clicked on it. I'm trying to see exactly what it's at. No, okay, here we go. It said, depending on the design of the weapon and the location in which it is detonated, the energy distributed to any one of these categories may be significantly higher or lower. The blast effect is created by the coupling of immense amounts of energy spanning the electromagnetic spectrum with the surroundings. The environment of this explosion, submarine, ground burst, air burst, or exo-atmosphere determines how much energy is distributed to the blast and how much to radiation. In general, surrounding a bomb with denser media, such as water, absorbs more energy and creates more powerful shock waves, while at the same time limiting the area of its effect. When a nuclear weapon is surrounded only by air, lethal blasts and thermal effects proportionally scale much more rapidly than lethal radiation effects as explosives yield increase. The physical damage mechanism of a nuclear weapon blast and thermal radiation are identical to those of conventional explosives, but the energy produced by a nuclear explosion is usually many times more powerful per unit mass, and temperatures may briefly reach the tens of millions of degrees. So that's why when you read the book of Revelation, they talk about, I've seen death and hell cast into a lake of fire. Hey, that's that tens of million degrees. That's a lake of fire right there. Now, hold on, let me go down to the other main part. I just want to get into this. I want to get back into that wind, that destroying wind. That's what I was looking for exactly, but it's done. Led me to something else when I clicked on it. Now, right here it says the effects of a nuclear explosion on its immediate vicinity are typically much more destructive. The blast wind at sea level may exceed 1,000 kilometers or 300 millimeters, approaching the speed of sound in air. They say the so-called thunderwell effect from the underground explosion may have launched a metal cover plate, and it's just going into it. It's just going into it even more. But that's how serious this is, man. That's why the scripture said in the book of Peter, knowing that the elements shall melt with fervent heat, what manner of person are you to be? Something that's tens of millions of degrees, hey, shit gonna melt, man. Elements gonna melt. People gonna melt. And that's why I was talking about this in the book of Jeremiah. It says, a destroying wind. Now in verse 2 it says, and will send into Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. So all these other nations gonna come round about this place, which they doing now, because you got Russia down there in Cuba, which ain't really been talking about that much in the news, but they actually signed a treaty with the Cuban president that Fidel Castro was trying to do. They actually got that pulled through now for them to have nuclear facilities down there. And you know they ain't doing it for nothing else. Now, verse 3 it says, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up, and is Merica, I might be pronouncing that wrong. It says, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Now, that bow is talking about no nukes. Now, I brought out another video not too long ago when it was talking about what do you call a missing nuclear weapon. It's also known as a broken arrow. So, anybody be playing them little games and talking about, oh, missiles ain't biblical, it ain't in the scriptures, whatever. That's because they don't know what they're talking about. And that's because, ultimately, because Yahweh Hashem Yahushua haven't opened their eyes to really see what it's talking about. Now, I'm reading on some more. It says in verse 4, it says, thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they are thrust through in the streets, for Israel have not been forsaken. Because our people be like, oh, if God loved us so much, why he let all this happen to us? Because we was fucking up. That's why. So he had to jack us up and get us right, so we can get our mind right and realize, like, okay, we was going off. Now we want to get back to how we supposed to be. So it says in verse 5, it says, for Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah or his power, or the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel, like still to this day, because they got that pink parade and all that other little bullshit they be doing over there. You got the so-called Amalekites over there circumcising babies with their mouth and shit. Like, hey, that's not biblical. You ain't supposed to do no shit like that. Even though it's part of our customs to get circumcised, and now no damn person mouth. That's sick. But in verse 6 it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul, be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. And the nations mad right now, because they done got drunk out the Babylon juice, and let America bring their U.S. dollar over there, extort them, set up their embassies, and bring all type of other madness. So these other nations, they heated right now. You know, in verse 8 it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. And so she may be healed. Hey, and this place ain't healed, man. People are like, oh, maybe this place gonna bounce back. And somebody was talking to me about that shit. I was just laughing like, y'all really don't know what the fuck about to happen to this place. Hey, you got men bringing the information out. It ain't like the information ain't out. You know, it ain't like it's just a little bit of people breaking these scriptures down. It's just people don't want to listen right now. They're not gonna really want to listen until the last little bit of time, and it's gonna be too late to be listening in. Now, I read on some more. I already read verse 9. I'm gonna read on to verse 10. It says, the Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord Yahweh. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple. So, even though he's gonna put the spirit on these other nations to do different stuff, it's for his vengeance though. Because he ain't finna personally come down here and be pointing and making stuff crumble and all that. He's just gonna put the spirit on these leaders. They got these missiles. They gonna press them buttons, and people gonna look up in the air. They gonna see them missiles coming. They gonna panic and bug out, like how that little event took place out in Hawaii when they sounded the little nuclear alarm and said incoming nuclear weapons. This is not a test. And people was bugging out, hiding in the sewers and all that shit, which is stupid because you're gonna get cooked down there. But you got people that was hiding out. People was doing all type of other little stuff and not calling on the Most High. Hey, when that moment come and the nukes be in the air and they break that sound barrier and you hear that little boom where it says it's gonna sound like a trumpet, there's gonna be so many of them coming simultaneously. The elect, they're gonna be delivered at the same time, and people gonna get to see that. All people talking shit, scoffing, like, oh, you into that Bible? All you wanna do is talk about that Bible and all that. Hey, in that day, they gonna wish they was talking about that Bible, and they gonna be hoping that they get delivered too. Now, I'm gonna read on some more. It says in verse 12, set up the stand upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong. And hey, the watch is strong right now. The watchman is watching. It says, set up the watchman, prepare the ambushes. For the Lord have both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. Because you have people be thinking like, oh, this book was written by man. It's just a book or whatever. They use to control people. It only control people that's using it for wickedness instead of using it for righteousness. Now, if you apply this to your life in a righteous manner, that's the type of control you want to have. Self-control, self-awareness, knowing what's going on in your surroundings and stuff like that. But if you got somebody using it to get money out you and all this other little shit, yeah, of course they're using it for control. And if you ain't reading it for yourself, then you're a fool. And the scriptures say that, but let me get that real quick. I'm going to come back to this. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 22. In verse 3, it says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. And if you're a prudent person, where you going to hide yourself at? You'll be trying to make sure you're doing something to please the Most High. So when he look down and he send his angels down to give count and give record of what's going on down here, that you doing something that's pleasing him. But it says, but the simple pass on and are punished. And that's what's going to happen, man. When all this stuff take place, they're just going to pass on. They ain't considering about no nukes. Like I was telling somebody about this not too long ago. I say like a week or two ago. And they was asking me, they was like, do you think this is a distraction for something else? I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking distraction. I ain't going to tell you what I think. I'm going to tell you what I know. The distraction is to have people all shook up and spooked up by some other little bullshit. When the whole time, you got these other countries with nukes aimed on this place. And that's more serious than a damn fucking virus. That's gonna be way worse than that. Nah, let me read on some more. And that's how you know this is talking about America too, back in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 13. It's because it's not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about so-called, I say America, the modern Babylon, also known as spiritual Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah in the New Rome. Now, in verse 13, it says, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, who got their military in all mainly the Navy in all the different parts of the water? It says, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, in the measure of thy covetousness. Because what America like to do is, the politicians, the elites, the ones that run this stuff, what they like to do is they like to be covetous. So they'll set up operations, psyops, so to speak, just to go in these other countries and get treasures. That's why it says abundant in treasures. Because that's how they get all these resources, whether it be oil, gold, drugs, and the list goes on. Now, verse 14, it says, the Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. And you see that happening right now. All this stuff is coming to pass right now. And I was going to read on some more, but I ain't going to go too much into it. You all can just check out these videos. Just read the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and just read that whole chapter. Really, hey, eat the whole roll if it's meant for you to, because the scripture say eat the whole roll. So, but this right here, this is definitely pointing out to a lot of this stuff going on right here. And is Babylon gonna be here? Is America gonna be here? Ain't no stimulus package, none of that bullshit these devils finna try to cook up, finna save this place. Because once the spirit get put on Putin and Kim Jong Un and what's the other guy name? Something Moon, whatever that Ammonite name is, and all these other little leaders and stuff, they ain't gonna want no gold or no silver. So I just want to bring this up. Better yet, before I end this out, let me pull that up. They should not regard gold nor silver. Hold on 1 minute, let me get this real quick. It's in the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 18. It says, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Hey, and that's what's coming to this place, man. That's the breakdown. And don't take that chip if you don't want to be a part of that. But some people, they're going to make it through the plagues, the pestilence, the FEMA camps, and all the other stuff. But if you take that chip, hey, it was meant for you. And I was going to end this off. Let me get it one more time. I'm going to just go into it. And it says in the book of Mark, chapter 19, verse 20, it says, and a beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which deceive them that have received the mark of the beast, because they're going to deceive people with this. They're going to, oh, you take this chip, and you ain't got to worry about getting no virus to cure any virus in your bloodstream or whatever. Some bullshit they're going to come out with. You take this and you don't have movement in certain limbs. They help you get your movement back in your toes, in your arm or whatever. It'll help you be able to see again. And you don't need no credit card or no cash. You can just have your money on the chip. And you can go buy this and go buy that. You go to the doctor, you don't need to pull out your social security card or your ID because it's already right here on the chip. it says, and them that worship his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. So, like I say, don't take that RFID chip. You gotta be able to resist it. That's the last ultimate test from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The Lord's willing to edify. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Shalom to the elect.